says I'm live. Bear with me. Hold on. It's always something I have to do extra. Are we really doing that? Connect. I did. You son of a bitch. Copy. Hold on. Of course, every single time. Every single time. Y'all, do you know I have to edit? I have to edit the stream key. Hold on just a second. No, that's the stream key right there. Save changes. Why is it not streaming on Insta? On Insta. It says I'm live. I don't know that I'm live. I don't trust it. Go check the other places. Hold on. I'm just flooding all this timelines. Ooh, I look like hell. I don't know that I'm live. I don't trust it. Go check the other place. No, I'm live there. Okay. I have no makeup on and I give $0. Oh, this is actually really neat for all of the individuals out there who, for some reason, hold on now. This is a test, by the way. Is it recording? It is. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm literally just like, I'm going to see if this works. So I'm doing this as kind of like a, it's like a wrap up from Georgia Poll the last 40 days. I'm also kind of doing, I'm going to touch on something really quick. Hold on. I'm going to see if it's working somewhere else real quick. Hold on. If you hear this, don't get mad at me. I don't know that I'm live. Don't get mad at me. It's a little bit better. Let's come on Instagram and check. And right now, everyone's wilding out at all of the. Checking in my YouTube. 1 second, please. Oh, imagine that. Yeah. I don't want to say that. Oh, I am live on YouTube. Okay, apparently it's really solid. All right, so I was jumping on to kind of give a debrief on the hell that is Georgia Poll. That's 40 days. Actually, it was like 45, if not 46 days, I want to say, because there's things that start that lead up to it. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I haven't talked to my dear friend who I was set to start a nonprofit with in a week now. It's been a week. And it's depressing. But it's not something that's uncommon for me. But I'm not jaded and I'm not begging. And I'm never gonna beg on that front ever. Because honestly, if it's something that I have nothing to do with and that I have ample evidence to provide you with, this shows the contrary. I should not do a damn thing, and I'm not. And I talked to our friend last night. A couple of our friends last night, and they're upset and they don't like the fact that you and I are not talking. So if you come across this, yeah, way to go on that one. But again, not my fault. I did everything that was asked of me, and I will continue to do that. But I do want to address that because I'm tired of people asking me. I'm tired of people being like, "What about this? What about that?" There's nothing to tell you. There's nothing to say. I don't know because somebody I've known since my kids were in pre-K decided to like throw a tantrum over administrative tasks that could like quite literally wait. And furthermore, tasks that I had already completed and given my input, but apparently because somebody didn't like my input, who's an outside entity who has somehow come in between somebody that I was friends with since like I said, since we've known or since our kids were in preschool or pre-K. She's no longer in my life because of an outside entity saying he didn't appreciate my feedback. To the outside entity, you know who you are. And I'm going to say this as calmly and rationally as I can. I resign from your board. I resign from the nonprofit. You've yet to provide me any documentation that you are acknowledged or in acknowledgement of that receipt. So now I'm going to go to the, I guess, extremes to make sure my name is removed from that nonprofit because I don't want anything to do with it. Nothing. Because what was something that on the board I was my position on the board was ed policy chair. And as the ed policy chair, who was buried in legislation, just trying to just survive, to make sure our kids weren't profiled with effed up like mental health bills and databases and all kinds of stuff. I got accosted for it. And so I'm gonna put the tea out there for everyone. So when I came home from the reading, I kind of did this the other day, but I'm gonna say it again. When I came home from the Reading League conference, I didn't get a congratulations, good job. You finally got a panel for parents. I didn't get that. I got cussed out. I got cussed out, and I got told to go back into my corner and just sit down, be quiet, don't talk until I'm needed. It's kind of bizarre. And then, considering a lot of the people, excuse me, considering a lot of the individuals that I had been working with for legislation were in person in the event. But I got cussed out. I got told to shut up. I got told to behave. And so now here we are again, and it's the end of the Georgia Poll session. But during the session, I went to the Black Literacy Matters conference, and instead of saying good job or I'm proud of you or anything along those lines, somebody that was supposed to be my ride or die didn't even acknowledge the panel, didn't say good job, instead got in their feelings and said, "You're not advocating alone," and then immediately made it about them. I actually went through my phone to see if I missed anything. I didn't miss anything. So no, I don't have a nonprofit. Not that I ever wanted one, honestly. I'm gonna be honest on that. I never signed up to do that. Because if I were going to do a nonprofit, I would do it I would do it solo. Because I don't like rules. I don't like to follow rules. I don't like to follow the established meeting norms and rules that are set for me, but that nobody else likes to follow or has to follow. I don't like being told what to do. It's okay. It's okay. But it's a shame. Anyway, Georgia poll was Georgia poll. As my friend Kirk has been out here telling me, I should not absorb all the drama that unfolded during Georgia poll. I should not be the one absorbing and or somehow holding myself to a higher standard than the individuals that could have made a difference that chose not to make a difference. I'm somehow out here apologizing like I feel like I failed. I don't get paid for it. And I'm not a legislator, but I'm the one that everybody comes to for data. I'm somehow apologizing for not being able to make sure things were done appropriately. It's about the norm. But I wanted to do this real quick just to wrap it up, just to kind of put a bow on what it is that I do. During the legislative session, we have 40 days in the state of Georgia to make laws and adopt laws and codify OCGA. There was a bill that actually came up yesterday about open record requests. There were several bills that needed to be heard on the House side to seal the deal, but the Senate in their asinine glory decided to shut things down because they were done. Well, by doing that, they kind of did us a favor because they got rid of the DEI bill because they shut it down. But here's the irony: the only reason they shut it down like that was because they knew the timing wise. I had already watched the timing from when they shut it down, and the messaging from the federal level was that the grants had been rescinded, and thousands of people were now without a job because the feds took away any monies for anything they call DEI, which has been embedded into public education earned. So I would love to go down the wormhole or rabbit hole and explain like a whole history lesson of DEI and why it's a racist term and why it's not a woke agenda. But that's about as useful as me explaining to people how I got my child reading inside of a public school. No one cares. No one gives a shit. So that's kind of how I feel about a whole bunch of stuff right now. Is that no one cares, no one gives a shit. So why should I? I made new friends. I made new enemies during this session. A lot of enemies. I'm getting dragged on threads right now because somebody is in their feelings because they posted an asinine thing. That's fine. I'll go take care of it in a second. Just want to summarize this. I just want to put this into context for a lot of people that don't understand what I was doing. The reason I didn't go for the literacy bills was because I knew that there was no need for me to do that. I already knew that that legislation was set up and ready to go. It was an initiative and it was an agenda that had already been rolled out. It's not as if I'm stupid. I may not work with the coding anymore. I may not work with the Georgia Literacy Council, but they're damn sure not like sneaky. I mean, like Jesus Christ, everybody knows what their agenda was, so they just picked the person in the Senate they needed, and he had a profile of a principal and a superintendent. So yeah, Sean Kemp got to do his thing. But that's what pissed me off, though, is that all that energy was expended on that, and then all of these people out here who scream "all means all." I'm about to get mad at threads. I'm gonna have to turn the sound off on this because some folks are about to get dragged. Hold on. Anyway. I love it. I love how I have to readjust constantly and do that so you guys can see my boobs and lack thereof. So yesterday, was my 16th anniversary with my husband, and I spent it dealing with temper tantrums and last minute bills hitting and stuff like that. And then we ended the day with dinner. with the kids and my family, and it was amazing. Um, Only for me to watch, like I said, the Senate do some dumb shit. It's gonna put them in the sights of John Burns at the end of the 2026. It's not gonna be pretty. Um, I tried to show people this year. I tried to show people this year the process of what it is I do. I tried to illuminate or like put that on display for people to see what I do. They still don't understand what I do. It's kind of sad, actually. I'll show you. Let me see if I can find. Oh, no, that's not it. I don't know what you're about to see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it, though. I'm trying to find one of the things yesterday that like people fundamentally were confused by, and it was just it was actually really just sad that people were confused by it. So I was like, "What is this? Is not rocket science. What is wrong with y'all?" Is this it? I think this is the bill. There it is. Let me see if I can share it. Hold on. I'll do that. Present. Share screen. Okay, I don't want the entire screen. I just want this. Here we go. So, I don't know what it looks like. I'm gonna hope that. Can you see it? Can you see it? I can't see. I can't tell if you can see it. Hold on. I gotta check again because that's how I am. I'm a little slow all the time. My brain doesn't have any the fuck. Hold on now. Really? Facebook, you suck. Hold on, let me check it over here. Let me come over here and look to see if you can see. No, you can't see it. This is what makes me. Here it is. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let me see here. I appear to be frozen. I put post. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, hold on. I don't know that why. I don't trust it. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, it's showing me and that at the same time. Cool. This is a new streaming software that I just came across. It's kind of neat, right? Cool. Anyway, so this is a bill that was going to be shoved onto the floor yesterday. Hi, Karen. So this is a bill that was going to like essentially strip the ability to do open record request. It's a pretty damning bill, you know. Let me see if I can actually get back to it. Let me come over here and expand it. So let's come over here. So you can't really see. I should have probably done that better, but that's fine. The verbiage in here is not good. It's really damaging. And it's something that could have potentially prevented us from being able to go after entities to collect records because they were in their fields because they're having to pay for it. Poor things. They're so mad. So yeah, that's what this bill was that I was over here freaking out because it just dropped at the last minute. I was like, oh dear God, where did this come from? Let me see here. I'm just gonna stop presenting, stop sharing. Okay, so this one bill. So we almost lost our ability to do open record requests in the state of Georgia yesterday. Did you know that? Did you care? Probably not. What else was it that I came across yesterday that was oh yeah, no, we came across the bill of SB 17, which 100% hi Karen. Yeah, right. I came across a bill, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday on the floor, SB 17, which is essentially they parsed out HB 268 and SB 61 and they created SB 17, which was the database that went into HB 268. And yeah, that passed. Let me see here. Come back into this. I don't really know. Hold on, Karen. I'm trying to figure out this new software because you know me, I don't like to wait. I like to test everything out in real time because I'm crazy. Okay, anyway, it's fine. So the database to profile kids was definitely adopted and definitely funded. The new budget reflects as such. I was not happy with what I saw coming from Blake Tillery. He just here to learn. Oh, Karen, you've got so much I want to share with you. But then the database thing came up for that effed up mental health thing that turns out, let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm gonna, hopefully you can see my face, but I'm trying to find, oh, here it is. So this bill, yeah, there it is right there. Let me see if I can share something real quick. We are going to share a Chrome tab, that one. All right. So it turns out BTAM is a federal initiative that I found out on the, you see, school safety, resource behavioral threat management alignment, BTAM, blah, blah, blah. BTAM is something that is being taken care of under the Department of Homeland Security. This site, why is it not? Is it showing this? Can you guys see that? Here it goes. I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. BTAM is something that no, you can't see it, Karen. Oh, here it comes, I think. I hope. Hold on. This is so stupid. Let me make it a separate tab and then maybe it'll actually work. Hold on. Add the stage. There it is. So sorry, Karen. That was a me issue, as usual. Moving on. So BTAM. Oh, well, this is just weird. I'm trying to get it back, guys. There it is. There it is. Okay. Anyway, BTAM is something that came from the Homeland Security, so HHS, and it's really scary. It's very scary because this is something that Elena Parent brought up during the hearing. If I go to the read more. Okay, so this is just in Idaho, right? So watch what happens when I do this. Homeland Security. Hold on, I'm going to make sure it rolls over. Yeah, you can see it. So this right here is what has been blessed upon every child and parent unknowingly by the Department of Homeland Security. You see this? To make American communities safer, prevent mass violence in practice. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Okay, so and they're supporting state and local initiatives. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you see where I'm going with this? This is something that they have been rolling out ever since Uvalde started. Here's the fact sheets for it. I think. Hold on, let me go back. I don't really need to do all that. I just need to go back to what I was on. Anyway, so this is a federal initiative, and so when Elena was speaking on this bill on the floor, she mentioned Texas. So I was like, okay, well, let me see that. Let me see BTAM. And there it is. There's this one. You see this? Oh, you're on your phone? I'll send you links. This is the Texas behavior threat. Hold on. I'm just going to go. That's the Texas one. And then we've got the Homeland Security one. I love how it says make America safe again. Yeah, because we're safe right now. Paste. There's the other one. Hold on. Okay, so there's the links. I've got them dropped in there, but these are things that school psychologists have had no say in. I started digging to see where these came up, right? Who did it, why. Then here's the Texas version of the bill, 2.9. It's a school safety kit for parents. Ooh, really? You see all this? Identify persons or situations that raise concerns when the person is having thoughts or is planning or preparing for the attack. Assess the risk level, implement a plan. Who should be on the team? Counseling, behavior management, mental health, and substance use. Classroom instruction, special education, school admin, school safety and security, emergency management, law enforcement. Okay, it says, what do they need to receive training wise? A lot. There's a whole bunch. So this is just the Texas one, but what I found interesting was this. I saw a registry. And in the registry, it's codified into Texas law. You see that? This is registry of persons providing school safety or security consulting. So they actually want to know who's providing it. But then there's also kind of a weird gray area in here. You see this in the Texas dashboard. This is bizarre for me to see. It gives you literally everybody that's out there. Adult discipline about, let's go to background. So they at least have an appeal process if your kid makes it into the database. Let's go facts. The background check. You see this? Okay. So just everybody understands what we're dealing with here. It's this law that was codified into Texas legislation after Uvalde happened. Now, I'm trying to find, there it is. So this is K-12 Solutions. This is the individuals. Yeah, this is it. So this is the individuals that have been gifted the uh, contract here in Georgia. Our products, BTAM. Hey, look at that. There it is, right there. Guess who's going to make a bunch of money off of this? This is the PDF that was generated from it. Hold on just a second as I pull that up and zoom in for you. Here you go. All right, so what I really want to hone in on is this part though. Let me come down here. This, you see this? Timestamp. This is a SQL program. This is what I was trying to tell people the other day. This right here, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to use green. Why not? You see that? That's a timestamp. And then here's another timestamp. And there's another timestamp. Here's a timestamp. It's literally telling you what the threat is, right? So this is just the Georgia version, by the way, because there are several other versions. Product sheet. Okay. And I can come back out of that. Karen, I see you talking to me, honey. I'm trying to get to you, I promise. There's so much more that I've come across. Okay, so if I come into here and I go, so I don't really know what checkmate is, other than, oh yeah, it's the attendance tracking. That's right. Hold on, E-Tech. This stuff just gets worse and worse and worse. In the state of Georgia, we have been instructed that we have to. There's the MTSS dashboards for anybody that wants to know where they come from in the state of Georgia. Well, here they are on the screen for you. Here's your PDF of that, of the MTSS dashboards, which are garbage, but whatever. All right. And then if I come over here, I go to Spotlight, which is really scary. You see these dashboards? You see this, all behaviors. You see this? Then we have, this is a behavioral intervention tool that has been embedded in Infinite Campus. The minor behaviors, off task and rude or disrespectful. Positive, helping the student and teacher. Minor actions, they called home and silent lunch. Really? We're not even allowed to do that in the state of Georgia, but yeah, go off. Okay. Hold on, let me get this dashboard up. They're so stupid. Okay, so here we go. Total events. This is by kid, just mind you. So right here, this is just data. If you come up to this little person thing right there, that would be the kid that they're doing all this on. And it tracks their events by year. So there's that one. Yeah, I'm not really having a warm, fuzzy feeling about this whole thing. Especially Swarm. Swarm is not something you want. Look at this. Swarm. What I found out about this is that Swarm is what social workers use to profile and track everything that a kid does that lands them into some trouble. And school counselors need access to them. Blah, blah, blah. And then I found, no, that's not it. Other services. Okay, so other services. If I can find it. All right. So this is the root of evil. Right? Swarm demo, Georgia user group meeting. I actually got their help page and I got their SQL queries. All right, BTAN, Checkmate, CPI, Spotlight, MTSS, Gem. What they're not showing on here, what they're not showing on here, which is I find absolutely hilarious, is that they took it down. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing that and just come back over because this is just I can't, I cannot with them. This is just ridiculous. That anyway, it's just me now. Hi, how you doing? So the information is going to the federal government. The information is going to the GBI or going to like the HHS, FBI, local authorities. So in our state, it would be referred to GBI, um, GMA, Emergency Task Force. These are people that get activated whenever some stuff pops off in the school. That's where this information is being sent to. So your kids' data, our data as their parents, is being sent to. Yes, this is the conflict of interest. Okay, so the individual that pitched this, his wife is the head of all things IT and especially Infinite Campus and K through 12 Solutions Group inside his district in Winder Barrow. So yeah, huge conflict of interest on that part. But everybody was kind of hoping I didn't find that stupid. Yesterday morning, because I was like floundering around trying to make sure that a certain district didn't get in trouble because this is a class action lawsuit. Um, there's actually been several class action lawsuits against this. Let's go. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna see if I can't share that. I'm gonna share one more thing. I'm just gonna share this tab. There it is. There you go. So this right here are all the lawsuits stemming from K-12 Solutions Group. K-12 Solutions isn't just in Georgia; it's all over the country. So you see this. There was a PowerSchool data breach in January of 2025. IXL Learning, Davahart. I mean, like these things. So here's the lawsuits. You see these lawsuits? You see? You see that? What was the date of that one? Oh, that was in 2020, but it's like literally telling people to dump their stocks and to leave. So Kamala Harris actually filed against them, which I'm guessing that's why, the GOP folks are out here like wilding out wanting to do it because it's a big middle finger to her. IXL class action lawsuit, which is a duh. You guys have no idea. The fact that there's a shareholding. Look at this. Hold on. Okay, so everything that I've queried, you couldn't see the screen? How could you not see that tab? It was there. I definitely saw it. I'll send the resources to you. Hi, Adrian. So there's been a lot here. Let me try it and look for it again. Okay. Hold on. Guys, I'm typing it in. You only see my face right now. Here we go. Here's one. Let's share this Hold on, y'all. I'm going to share this. Share. I'm going to come back over here and see if it brings it over. There it goes. Sorry. Told you it's new. It's new. So there it is. It's new. Sorry. I'm getting used to this, okay? Anyways, so this is the lawsuits accuse K12 Inc., former CEA, of misleading investors. This was dated in 2014. Wow. Okay. So all of these lawsuits because here you go. This is their channel partner, K12 litigation. There was one I found, the SEC dumps. They look at this. Sorry, I'm snorting. You see 2013. This has been going on for years. Look at, they had to award people $6.7 million to the plaintiffs. You know, but don't worry. Everything's totally safe. It's totally safe. That's not the right one. Everything's totally fine, you guys. It's totally fine. Here's another one. They're one of the subsidiaries. There's so many entities that they, yeah, look, K12 Swarm. See? Ties right back to it. See? I could just keep going and going and going, but the SEC filing was really damning. Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, did they show their cute little? This is their what? This is their Facebook page, you guys. They just had their conference in Athens, Georgia. I know where these honeybees come from. You guys, you know what this is? If I cared about that lawsuit, I would say something, but I don't care about that lawsuit anymore. I just don't. There's no point. But yeah, this is these are the folks that are doing it. They're the ones housing or farming the information out to just fuck like all these evil humans that don't need access to our information. I'm trying to find the person that they hold on. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna stop sharing all that. All that matters is that yes, Adrian and Karen, you guys need to become friends quickly because you guys are highly intelligent and you'll understand this quicker than anybody else. So what it comes down to, yeah, thank you, because I know exactly where you're going with that. What it comes down to is that this is a federal initiative. Just like IDEA, we have the ability to take it as guidance when it's pushed down to the state level to adopt. I have to shut something down real quick. Hold on, y'all. I'm done. I'm done. Go away. Have fun. Apparently, Threads has turned into like a whole like racist website as well now. So there's a. Okay, sorry, shiny object syndrome. Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry, you lost volume. Okay, so as IDEA is used as guidance, and it's up to the state to adopt it as they see fit. This federal initiative was pushed down during the after Uvalde. Hi, Ash. I was just talking about the Texas dashboard. Um, so we as states have not been very transparent. We've been harvesting data on children and sending that data to federal agencies like HHS, FBI, all the people, everybody. And guess what? It didn't start under the person you'd think. You know who it started under? It started under Obama. Remember that whole Snowden thing, right? Where he was actively warning everybody about the data sharing and about the information that was being collected by his administration. That's where all this comes from. It's fun times. Um, yeah, you should be angry because it's really bad. But anyway, this was rolled out under the Obama administration. If you go back and you Google Snowden or WikiLeaks, those two guys basically got ran out, and they like were literally they had to run because the federal government here was coming after them for sharing the fact that our data was being harvested at the federal level, and like facial recognition, everything was being used. But what I didn't realize about that, and that's just because I've had my head, buried in advocating for my kid. What I didn't realize about that was it also included data harvesting, or scraping of children's data within the public school setting and private and homeschool setting. So, um, you're right. Well, it's not like the zero tolerance thing that was rolled out for bullying worked. I mean, shit, I had to call the cops up to my kid's elementary school when he was 8 because, like, the zero tolerance thing leaned in on the bullies instead of the victim. Anyway, moving on. It's a different story, different lawsuit. So this is the best part. Yesterday, I started my day, um, as a favor to somebody in a certain district, and the new CIO of said district got on, as cocky as he could be. I immediately read his body language and I read his face and his twitchiness. And I was like, yo, don't you even think about bringing that my way. And I told him in the meeting, I was like, sir, you sending off some vibes. I don't have to tell you anything, because he kept trying to get me to show him how I got in to the data and how I got into the see everything. I was like, I literally told him, like, dude, I don't have a lawyer on this phone call. I'm not showing you. I'm not showing you. I'm telling you how to do it. I'm telling you how I do it. I'm not showing you though. And I can show you myself inside. I can show you a video or a photo of me inside your servers yesterday, but I'm not going to show you in real time because I don't have an attorney in this setting. And you're not really giving me warm, fuzzy vibes. Plus, you asked me how to fix it. I told you how to fix it, and you said, that's not possible. I need more information. I don't get, mm-mm, no. You make $400,000 a year as a CIO in a school district that I've been helping for 10 years. You don't get money, or you don't get anything for free from me. Not when you bring that big misogynistic energy my way. Yeah. So, but like the guy that was in the meeting with me yesterday, one of the several men, started he was just like, the misogyny was just like on full display, and I was like, all right, this meeting is going to go this way or that way, and the way you're acting right now, I'm going to shut down and shut up and not let you know how I did it, but I'm going to tell you that I'm probably not the person you want to pick this fight with because I've already sued this school district twice. Twice. And you let somebody off the hook without signing a non compete contract. And guess where she works now? That back door was left open on purpose. And this gentleman was still all in his feels. He asked me how to fix it again. And I said, Sir, I just told you. But if you don't want to do that, do it. Why didn't you come in and the first action you take was a forensic audit on your IT infrastructure? Because as a former systems admin, that would be the first thing I did. So you're now telling me that you've not even set that up. Good job. I let him know how many times the district has been hacked, numerous times. He still nonetheless wanted to berate me and treat me as if I was like stupid or didn't know what I was talking about. And he was mad because I wouldn't show him how I did it. I was like, I don't have to show you anything. So he just kept doing that. And then he's like, well, we have to go. We have something more important. I'm like, fine, go. Bye. See you later. But two people stayed on. And one of his little worker bees understood exactly what I meant when I said something about in the state of Georgia, it's codified under OCGA that we must house our children's IEPs within a certain program. That program is owned by K 12 Solutions. They created it. And the gentleman said, there's no way that you could see this. I was like, oh, really? He said, that's not where it's housed. I'm like, it's not? I was like, that's weird. Because in all the 6-hour IEP meetings I had, and I even drilled it down. I was like, there was one coordinator who loved the color purple, and like literally, she wrote everything in purple. Her font was purple. She was highly annoying. But in my IEP meeting, she would routinely turn her MacBook around so I could watch her typing inside my son's IEP within Infinite Campus in real time. So don't tell me that it's not there when I physically saw it and know for a fact that's where it's housed. And don't tell me that that information is safe when I know that you keep the information of children on IEPs because of SB 10 funding. And the FTE counts come from that database. Well, he went back and he looked and he was like, oh, God, I'm so sorry. I have to apologize. You're right. I was looking in the wrong area. This is where everything's at. I was like, I was like, so do you see what I mean when I say that HIPAA, PHI, PII, and FERPA confidentiality seems to be a problem? Yep. But that's putting too much on display. I'm actually just kind of I'm going to leave this out there because I know that that school district likes to lurk on me, and I know that they love to watch this stuff. So I'm just putting it out there that like the misogynistic asshole behavior and the fact that the superintendent has not replied to my email, the fact that the attorney for the district has not returned my email. All of those things coincide, and all of those things tell me that you actually think I'm joking and or lying about this. But you know, in 5 years, you've been able to violate my child's and my confidentiality 3 times. 3 times. If you think I'm going to do this for free and show you how to fix it for free, absolutely not. And do I think anybody on your staff knows how to fix it? Absolutely not, because they have no idea what they're dealing with. But I digress. I told you how to fix it and you don't want to. But every other attorney I went to in this state, they understood immediately what to do. And they thanked me and they acted upon it immediately because they knew I was trying to prevent their clients from a class action lawsuit. My goal on that is to make sure that the more powerful law firm in the state of Georgia, who houses all the attorneys for school districts, is to have them initiate a class action lawsuit on behalf of every child in the state of Georgia because her firm can afford it. So, yeah, arrogance gets people in trouble a lot of time, especially men in the IT industry. And I even said that on there. I was like, yeah, I've been working in a male-dominated industry my entire life, and literally your vibes and your energies are just nah. We're not doing this. So that's why I shut down and wouldn't talk to him. It's okay though. That's what happens when they underestimate my ability to go in and wreck their world. Because when he got off, I made sure to show his friend who stayed, his little worker bee, which I'm guessing is probably the pissant, like the pissant, and he's the one that does all the work and makes the other guy look good. Been there, done that. I showed him how I got into their mainframe server. He was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, you see that in the top right? That's not mine. You see the directories? This is my directory. This is your directory. I've got access to both. All it would take is me running a query in your directory, and I could get everything I want." So, if I watch the video, you should have taken me up on my offer yesterday, but I digress. Apparently, your IT guy wants to get you in a lot of trouble, as does your superintendent and your attorneys. So I'm just gonna leave this up here for you guys to watch. I'm just testing, so yeah. So Karen, here's the thing. This is actually going on in every state, and it takes somebody like you, me, Adrian, Ashley's, the whatever, who pick up on patterns and see patterns and data and catch things that other people dismiss. It's going on in Boston. I already know that. I told Nancy and I showed Nancy where it was going on. I showed Nancy all of it. My family's so
Lauren,
I
thank you for acknowledging.
anyway, I'm gonna go eat dinner. Everybody in my house likes to be extra obnoxious when it's time for dinner. So I'm gonna leave this up there, let people watch it, all the stuff like that. But I'm gonna go eat too. Yeah, check with Nancy. She knows. All right, I gotta go. Bye.